Hello, and welcome to another episode of Between Two Pints. I'm your host, Rob, and with me today is Jade, the star of Lola Dust, a feature film that was locally made.
Yeah.
And I just spoke to a producer and director? He's sitting up.
Producer, yes.
Producer.
Yeah.
Olivier, and he'll probably be last week's episode, so you'll be this week's episode.
Amazing.
But you did an incredible job.
Thank you. Yeah, you watched the film.
I did, and both you played two roles in it, which was awesome, but also like watching the torture they put your main character through, I was like, that must have been an exhausting role.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it was, but it was also really fun because I got to play two people. So that journey that Nadia goes through, I think the thing I liked about it is that could happen to anybody. Like, it doesn't matter what job you have, where you come from, or anything like that. That's a global issue. And it kind of makes sense to target someone who isn't a recognizable face because there's nothing to grasp from other people for them to realize, like, hey, maybe this is fake. This is just a random person. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when she tries to fight out, I got to be careful ruining stuff. Like when Nadia tries to like fight against all this fake stuff going on, people are just like, "Oh, you just kind of look like her, and you're trying to capitalize on the stuff."
Yeah, like people kind of assume that you are okay with being famous in any capacity, which is a shame because that's not true. Not everybody wants to be famous. So when she's trying to clear her name, I guess you should say, it's hard to do because you're trying to get strangers to believe you.
And there's like, they've proven that like once people have been like told a lie, it's extremely difficult to convince them of truth. And I really found like I kept thinking about that, where they've proved it and they've shown like studies where you can show them a ton of evidence and people still be like, nope, I'm gonna believe what I believe.
Yeah. I also heard that if you're trying to get someone to do something, if you don't explain why, then they're likely to not do it. So if I'm like, hey, could you move your chair over there? And that's it. You're like, okay, no, I'm comfortable staying where I am. But if I say, could you move it over there so I can stretch my legs out because I broke my ankle and I just need some more room, you might be like, oh, okay, yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? I'm fine though. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's actually a really good point. So if people don't understand the why, they're less likely to do something or I guess even believe you, which is very interesting.
So from your point of view, how did this project happen?
My point of view. So I got an email from Dom, and I think maybe Olivier was CC'd in that. And to be honest, I thought it was potentially fake or like not, I don't know. I just thought it was a bit sketchy, to be honest, just because I didn't know who he was. Like I hadn't met him in person yet. And I have like a specific email that I had on my Instagram account. So when people reach out to me, it's like an email alias. So I can tell it's through like Instagram. That's how they got the email. So I kind of was unsure. And I think I waited about a week, maybe less than a week to reply because I kind of saw it and was like, I don't know. And then I realized, okay, in the email, he explains who he is, that he wrote a script, and he even said, like, if you want to read it, I'll send it to you. So then I realized, oh, there's no harm in just asking to read the script and then going from there. So once I had replied, he sent me the full script and I I started to read it thinking like, oh, I'll just read like 5 pages and then I'll go about my day. But then I just got so into it. I ended up like lying in my bed, reading this script, and I was like just so into it that I read it front to back in one sitting. And I was like, I had this feeling where I was like very excited. And I was like, oh, wow, I can't believe this person like reached out to me. Like I didn't really understand why or how they found me, but I was just excited to get a chance to audition for them.
You killed it.
Thank you.
I watched it, and I mean, it's all on your shoulders. The entire movie is carried on your shoulders.
I mean, my character is in every scene, I think. Like technically every scene, yeah, which is crazy.
And you play 2 characters.
Yeah. Yep.
One awful one, like a horrible person.
Yeah, like the complete opposite of my character, Nadia. Yeah. It was very fun to play her, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she was very in your face and brash and
Yeah, and, I don't wanna ruin anything either, to be honest, but
we can always cut this out.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's up to Dom and Olivier what they want revealed, but, I mean, it's about deepfake technology, so my other character is my deepfake, and when I auditioned for Dom initially, I sent in a self-tape to audition for Nadia, and then he followed up and I guess it was like a callback audition, and I did a Lola Dust audition, and I'm like in my studio apartment, reading these lines, and I'm like, I hope my neighbors don't think I'm this person, like just yelling at the top of my lungs the most horrendous stuff. I mean, she's supposed to be controversial, I'll say that much, and I chose to do a British accent because it fit with the plot. Yeah. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it is a British person that they are targeting. So it made sense for her to also be British. And because I didn't know who Dom and Olivier were yet, like I hadn't met them in person, I was a bit worried about sending a self-tape or being recorded on the Zoom audition where I was saying like really controversial stuff in my own voice.
Very much like the movie.
Yes, exactly. So I figured if it was English accent, not a Scottish accent, because the Scottish accent is my old accent, technically.
Your real accent?
My real accent. Well, I have a bit of a mix of an accent now, but doing a Scottish accent would have been too close to home.
You have your old accent as a Scottish accent? What does that mean?
Well, I moved when I was almost 12 from Scotland, and so I guess through assimilation, I lost my accent over time. I mean, I was also doing a Canadian accent at school just so people could understand me because my accent was really, really thick. It was like I was speaking a different language. Yeah, so I just wanted to be safe, and I just wanted to do an English accent, and it also just worked. In my head too, I was picturing this crazy person being like an English girl. No offense, English girls. Yeah. And Dom was cool with it, so we just went with it. Yeah.
So I actually, I'm doing my own project, and I'm cast all my good friends. Like we're buddies. We've been drunk at 2 a.m. doing karaoke. They've seen me sing Queen with like 8 shots of tequila in me. So like there's no filters between us. And like I'm very, we're all tight. And even the one other female lead, like we're also super close. But I'm actually having a Zoom meeting with an actress that we've cast,
right?
And I want her to make her feel comfortable and stuff. Is there any advice you could give me for like how to deal? I've already done I've sent her walls of information just because like I find if you give people lots and lots of info, it seems to make them feel like that it's all like it is all legit and that you're just trying to show them everything and there's no secrets. But is there any advice you could give me to help me make this actress feel a little bit more comfortable?
I mean, just the fact that you care is is everything. I think that providing lots of information, but also just I'm very much so a vibe person. I think you can tell very quickly who you can feel safe around and who doesn't really care about your safety. And then you start to get a feeling where you're like, oh, there's red flags going off in my body, something's wrong, so I think that the fact that you care, and I know you'll probably ask her questions and just make her feel very involved and not just like she's some girl you're going to throw in your project.
Yeah, there's also like no love scenes and everything. Like she's supposed to be the best friend of the male lead, and it's like more of a story of friendship. And
yeah,
so I don't like writing love scenes, and like or that scene that you have in the beginning.
Yeah,
with the audition. I talked to Olivier about that, but like, can I have your input on that? Because like, I told Olivier, and I mentioned the previous episode, I'm like watching this.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I've already booked you guys to come in and be interviewed. I'm like, the hell did I sign up for? Like,
yeah, no, that's valid. I think it was interesting filming it because, you know, once you get to know Dom and Olivier, like they're really kind people. And I feel really lucky that I got to do my first feature film with them and all the crew that they brought on. Like I'm really not just saying this, like every single person is like a very kind, chill person. And that's so rare. Like I've worked in the film industry for 10 years and I just felt like it was a different like energy on that set. So I felt very safe, but then the content of the scene is very uncomfortable. And yeah, like Olivier was saying, like I was like, Olivier, like just go for it because it's so not who he is. But you know, he got into it. He got into his acting bag, and yeah, I mean, it was it was very interesting watching it with my dad.
oh God.
I was like sinking into my chair, like, oh, please don't judge me.
No, it was like a very evocatively emotional scene. Like it made my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Because I talked to Olivia, like I've never really met any people like that personally or like known, but like I know there's dudes out there that use that kind of power and it's just gross. But like that scene was, yeah, I mean, it's definitely starts the film off with a bang.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sadly, you know, I have a lot of friends who've been in the industry way longer than I have, and they have a lot of stories of creepy guys that it blows your mind. Like really, the fact that you can sit down at a table of women and they have each got a story to tell about someone being like that or being in a similar situation. So yeah, I think it was really cool that they put that in there because I think it's important to highlight the dark side of the industry.
And it really leads well into like who the bad guys are. And it really, I feel like by the end, when you do meet the bad guys, you're like, yep, checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Those are definitely it.
Yeah, for sure.
So Olivier mentioned you have a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
You're a YouTuber?
No, I wouldn't say that. I do have a channel. It's not been active for a while. I also had a podcast. It's still active, but
you have a podcast?
I haven't done an episode in a long time. So yeah. But yeah, they're just, I don't know. I like to say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
You know the rest of that saying?
No, I don't. Tell me.
Oh, don't. So this is one of those sayings where like there's a whole bunch of sayings that are wrong and we've been living wrong with. So it's jack of all trades, master of none, better than a master of one. So jack of all trades is a good thing.
Why did they eliminate that last line?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess I always viewed it as a positive thing, but I will definitely keep note of that. But yeah, I just like to dabble in a lot of things, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Like what?
I don't know. Like
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I like a lot of like DIY stuff. Like, you know, my dad helped me make my coffee table and he helped me make a dining table from pallet boards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
is that on your channel?
No, it should have been, but he was just helping me because it was for my first apartment and it was free to get the pallet boards. So it was like a very cheap project, but I just love stuff like that. And I also do ceramics in my free time. Yeah.
I'm sort of a DIY guy myself. I brew beer and cider and
I think that's so cool. Do you have a name for your cider and beer?
I actually, for a couple that I play Dungeons and Dragons with, I made them for their wedding. I each made them 23 liters of like what they requested. So for Martin, I think I made a coffee stout based on his cleric. And then for Carla, it was like what's Ribena the flavor of?
Oh, blackcurrant.
Yes. So I made Carla a blackcurrant cider, and it was like Olthac's health potion because she was playing like a half-orc barbarian. I'm sure you don't know anything about D&D, and it's really, but yeah. So and I made them labels. So I went on Fiverr.com and I like paid a person to design like silly cartoon labels and gave them the full wedding present because like we're really close.
That's so cool. That's such a great wedding gift.
hey, just get good friends with me and then get married and I'll make you one.
I'll make it like League of Legends themed, or that's what I will request.
Are you a League of Legends? Are you a loler?
I am a loler.
Oh, who's your main?
Senna.
Senna.
She's like a black woman and she has like long locks and a big like gun thing.
I played many, many years ago, and I don't even know if I'm going to get the name right. I'm probably going to get flamed, but it was Master Yi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I used to like listen to like the Crystal Method and play, which is like electronic music. Because he has like just run around and murder people.
Yeah.
Do you still play?
I still play.
Really?
I'm so into it. My boyfriend got me into it, and I'm like, we play together all the time. I'm
Good
addicted.
man.
Yeah.
What's his main?
He dabbles in a lot of people, but lately he's been playing Kane.
Oh, which one was he? Is he the big like tank guy?
He's a jungler and he has like a big like scythe thing. Yeah.
I think I remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah. I think they've added a lot of characters, to be fair.
I remember when it was like in beta or something. Like I played it before it was cool.
I'm like, is it still cool? I don't know if like people consider it cool. I think it's cool. I love that game.
Have you seen Arcane?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. People are like, oh, this cool show. Like, and I'm like, do you know it's based off of a video game? And they're like, what? No. I'm like, the disrespect. No, I'm kidding.
So you have a podcast?
Yeah, I do. I honestly haven't done it in like 2-3 years.
What's it called?
It's called I'm an Adult, Now What? Good question. Yeah. Yeah.
How many episodes?
That's a good question. I think I did 20.
That's actually the magic number I'm trying to get to, where because I did this and I don't want people to watch them, but I did a bunch 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you get to 20 episodes, you have more episodes than 99% of other podcasts.
I did not know that. That makes me feel a little bit better.
How did you record it?
It was audio only. The setup you have for this is so cool, by the way. I love it so much. It looks really nice. And I also listened to your episode with Mike because I met him on set.
Mike Lee?
Yes.
Oh, I love that man. That's one of the leads in that man has seen me sing a lot of Queen.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yes. Yeah, in fact, me and him are having a karaoke party this Saturday.
Oh, that's fun.
In fact, I got a great story. And I don't think I've talked about this.
Okay.
I made a short film that he was in called The Power of the Wingman.
Okay.
It's a fantasy short. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
And I had it's like like a cleric, a healing priest comes back from a sabbatical, and he meets Mike's character, who's a thief, and like this really cool black armor I bought, and they have an adventure. It's like a 5-minute sketch, but we shot it really well because it was a camera test.
Okay.
And then like a year after we made it, I was showing it to a woman I was on a date with, and her roommate comes in and she's like, whoa, who's that guy in the black armor? And I'm like, he's single. That's who he is. They got engaged last month.
Stop. That is so cool. That's an amazing story.
The power of the wingman was his wingman.
Wow. Well, congratulations to him. That's so cool.
Yeah, and actually, like total film nerds, me and him and another guy went down to the waterfont where he was going to propose a week before to like scout out a location where we found there were like extra strong little streetlights in one point. And we were rehearsing, and somebody assumed that those two guys were proposing and yelled congratulations. But yeah, we actually did photos and everything, and it was really great.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow, you guys are really good friends to do that for him.
I mean, he owes me big time. I've actually told him he needs to produce and direct the sequel.
Yeah.
And I can star in it, so that's how I can meet someone and get married.
Hey, that's a good plan.
Yeah, that's my plan.
There you go.
So did you, this feature was your first as a lead?
Yeah. The only thing I had booked as a lead before was a TV pilot. It never got picked up, but and that was an amazing project to work on too. It was like a comedy and kind of the opposite of Lola Dust, but
not a comedy.
Yeah. So yeah, this was my first feature film. Mm-hmm.
Did you learn anything from it?
Oh gosh, so much. I think I just learned that I am capable of doing a lot more than I thought, which is big for me. Because, I was very shy as a kid, like cripplingly shy. And then especially after moving and then having an accent that people don't understand. And I'm also introverted. So there's just like many factors where I was kind of freaking out internally. Like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know, like, why do they pick me? And having major imposter syndrome. So yeah, just realizing like if you take it one step at a time, you'll be okay. And if you prepare well enough, you'll feel confident enough to do it. You know?
Yeah, I over prepare.
That's a good thing. It's so much better than under preparing. That's so scary.
Yes. Yeah. Nightmare level scary.
Yeah. And I think I just learned to, I mean, there was actors in the film that have been around for like decades, you know, in that film industry. They've had very long careers. Their careers are still going strong, like Chris Shields and Lachlan Monroe. And they were really kind, chill people and taught me a lot of just like small things, you know, like giving me advice on like the stunt that's near the end. I won't say what it is, but yeah, just things I didn't know, and they were very kind. So I learned a lot in that film.
What is a favorite memory from shooting the film?
Ooh, I think my favorite memories are always like just like lunchtime kind of memories, like when everybody gets their lunch and they pull up in the sun and they're sitting chatting. And at Margaret's house, we had lunch outside one day and everyone was just talking to each other. And I feel like there wasn't a lot of opportunity to talk to people while we're actually filming, because like some days we filmed like 10 pages. I think the longest was a 13-page day, which is kind of insane. So like if you're filming that much, you can't really stop and like have a full-blown conversation with somebody. So I think my favorite memories were like lunchtime and dinner time, I guess. If it fell on a night shoot, I don't know. And then I also really enjoyed working with Lachlan.
That's amazing. And now I'm going to ask you something, and we can totally cut this part out, but can we hear you dial your Scottish accent up to 11?
Up to 11?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whenever people ask me to do a Scottish accent, there was... Okay, so my childhood friend, she came to visit me with her 2 friends from Glasgow. And they came back from their like day trip in Vancouver. And I was like, oh, what did you do? And they were talking about their bike ride at Stanley Park. So they were like... They were like, yeah, we rented these bikes and we took them around Stanley Park, and for some reason they didn't have brakes. So we're going down the hill and we couldn't stop. And we're like looking for the brakes and they didn't have brakes. And we're like, what the hell is going on? And I was just like, even I was like, wow, you know, like to hear a Scottish accent outside of Scotland, it sounds like way more intense than when you go there and you kind of acclimate, or at least I acclimate to it.
I wish I could afford you for a film, because that was amazing.
Hey, you know what? I'm a true believer in doing things for the experience over the money. So hit me up.
Well, but maybe some of that booze for your wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that accent was incredible.
Oh, thanks. Well, I feel like it's kind of funny because I don't look Scottish, right? So then when sometimes I'll do the accent and people are like, wow, why are you so good at that accent? And I'm like, oh, I don't really say. And they just think I'm incredible at this one very specific accent for no reason. And I get a kick out of that. I think it's so funny. But then they meet my dad and he's Scottish, and then it makes sense. Yeah.
Do your parents live here?
Yeah. They live like 5 minutes from me. Yeah.
That's really nice. So do you have any other projects coming up?
Not that I know of, you know, I'm just taking things as they come, and I've just been auditioning, and, you know, that actor life is just unpredictable. But I think, you know, you kind of learn to go with the flow of, I don't know when my next job is coming. And you really have to get used to the process of auditioning and enjoying auditioning, because that's really like what you're going to be doing in the long run.
Well, that's why I quit acting.
Oh, really? So you used to be an actor?
I studied to be a triple threat, but that was like 20 years ago.
Wait, what? Tell me more.
Hey, get me on your podcast.
True.
I mean, it's tough to say. I wanted like theater. I was a theater major for my first few years in university, and like I had the old school, like wonderful woman Sylvia Hosey as my like teacher in high school, and Matthew Howe, and I was preached on the like be a triple threat, learn how to sing, learn how to dance. I suck at dancing, but like, yeah, but like, it's why I have karaoke nights and stuff. Cause like, I may not be the best singer, but I know some basics and like, I love it. So, yeah, I went to university and then I just realized like, I don't like it. And then I went into computers and then somehow I ended up back in film.
Well, maybe it was just calling you back. And
today, actually, I was acting on a vertical series. So somehow I'm back in acting. And I have to admit, it's way less stressful than being on the camera team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you get scenes off. You can go like hang out and...
That's true. Yeah. No, that's very true.
Also, I play a lot of D&D, so they're like, oh, you got to be this doctor. I'm like, cool. Do you want me to be a kobold or a talking tree as well? Because I'm ready.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like doing D&D, you really... probably get top-notch actors. I'm talking as if I know. I don't know, but I'm just assuming that you get a lot of really great actors who commit.
I have found that my friends who have nothing to do with the film industry, who I've been playing with for like 10 or 20 years, they put more thought into character backstories and like character interactions and dynamics and things and like confrontations between characters than like a lot of film writers. I'm actually doing a side podcast where we talk about how to be a better dungeon master. And a lot of this is like, one of the things I do is ask players to come up with secrets for their characters. But the intent is the secrets are supposed to come out so that you can have like a big improv moment with another person around the table.
Whoa. You kind of blew my mind just now. I'm not going to lie.
Not to mention I run beginner campaigns for actors and film people. And I know Olivier mentioned something and I pretty much work for beer and pizza.
Hey, I mean, I feel like the technique of that is probably very applicable to acting. Like when you're trying to think of a character and their backstory. To get creative like that, right?
A good D&D session is probably better than most drugs you've experienced if you're a serious actor. Because it's like, it's improv, but there's enough rules that like, because like failure can be just as enjoyable as winning. Because like for instance, with the secrets part, the campaign I run is like a kind of like a Dracula knockoff. So like there's a vampire and he can be like, oh, you're going to kill me just like you killed your father. And then he'll leave. And then we have this big scene between all the players where the paladin looks at you and is like, killed your dad? And you get this whole scene.
Oh my gosh. I definitely want to dive into the D&D world finally.
It's really easy. And, Olivier, we just get him. He's an organizer.
Yeah, that's true. To produce a game.
Yeah. I mean, your partner plays League of Legends. I bet he'd also be down with it.
Yeah. Well, we almost did a game night. It just didn't work out with everybody's schedules. Sadly.
That is actually the number one opponent to Dungeons and Dragons. Scheduling.
Yeah. And adult life and bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to talk about? Any like links or any things you want to share on here? You got an Instagram? Are you a TikToker?
I mean, I have TikTok. I honestly can't remember what I changed my handle to. I think I changed it recently. I think my name was taken, so I had to like shorten it or something.
I hate TikTok. People keep sending me I'm old, so I like picture memes where like send me a picture that's like a thing I can read, maybe makes fun of Lord of the Rings, I'm on. But as soon as it's like a video where I have to like open it and play the audio, I'm out.
That's fair. I kind of secretly love TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. I know it has its problems, but yeah, I just like posting random stuff and a lot of pottery things. But my Instagram is just my name, Jade Pattenden, and the Lola Dust film is Lola Dust Film on Instagram. I feel like that's the best place to get the updates on what's happening with that movie.
And then I'll put like a link to your YouTube channel and your podcast.
Yeah, maybe the podcast. That'd be cool. The YouTube channel is kind of like...
you could restart it. I'd be a guest.
Yeah. Maybe I got to switch up the content or something. Yeah.
Hey, DIY, I can talk about brewing.
Yeah, that's true.
And I can bring, I got a strawberry cider that's almost ready to try. And then just get me started and I'll talk about like non-fermentable sweeteners for a good 20 minutes and you have no idea what I'm saying.
Hey, well, I like that you do multiple things. My podcast is basically about exploring adulthood and the lessons you learn. And it sounds like you've tried a lot of things. So yeah.
I actually like the concept of your podcast. It's probably more applicable than mine with like the beer drinking thing. Yeah, I'm never gonna get monetized.
I like the beer thing. Even though I don't drink beer, I like it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us, Jade.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How was that?